Mute. Aloha! What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's going on? Fidelis here. Good afternoon. So listen to this. Today I'm talking to the veterans. To all my veteran friends. You know, veteran friends, those I've served with, those that even went through the units I've gone through. I don't want to name them, okay? But yeah, my veteran friends. So today we want to talk. All right? Yo, Scott Wallace, you're one of us. What it is? What's going on? So, Scott, you're going to get this because we've talked about this, okay? My veteran friends, so listen to this. You remember those days during our deployments? Scott, you remember that? How we used to tell each other stories. We would talk about, our girlfriends, our high school sweethearts, and how we would plan to get married when we get home. And then we'll talk about different businesses. We'll talk about what kind of business you'd want to start after service, as soon as you got home or whatnot. But the challenge with that is this. The moment we got home after deployments, after having all these conversations, there seemed to be a distance. So big a gap between those conversations that time and now. And then you realize that there are so many soldiers, so many veterans that those days had some great ideas, some passionate great ideas about pursuing their dreams outside of military after coming out, right? But then the question is now, how have you pursued that? Have you taken time to pursue that? How has that worked for you? Did you marry that high school sweetheart you talked about marrying? What's that journey like? Did you ever start that business you talked about starting? What was that like? I think that if we have this conversation, we are going to open up doors for other veterans to get ready to transition, It will give them that motivation, the leeway, just the capability, just to have that platform to know, oh, wait a minute, there are other veterans that came out and they started businesses after having conversations about whatever endeavor of business they wanted to pursue, right? But then, in a long run, that too came with so many different challenges. There are so many of us that got injured over there, going through so much adjustments as in terms of, as a transition now, right? So all those challenges came about and overshadowed your whole ambition. Because sometimes, and this is huge, and I'm not pointing fingers, but over the years what I've learned is that these challenges have contributed to incompetence in one way or the other, or just not knowing. Not knowing because we focus on the PTSD overshadowing the whole ambition or even the focus for the future. And then other injuries, for that example, right? And then the question is, when you're dealing with that PTSD, you're dealing with depression, you're dealing with so many different challenges, you're no longer left with room to be able to think about the future because you're so overwhelmed. But it does not necessarily mean that there is no way. If you remember that same goal, okay? And if you remember it today, or even this month, write it down. It's not too late. Go ahead and write it down, okay? When you write it down, take time to allocate time every day towards that dream of yours. You have to take time to allocate just for that specific. It doesn't matter whether it's the last 10 minutes before you go to sleep. Write something down about that endeavor, that dream. Write something down about how you want to stay persistent and consistent to pursue it. Write down how you want to envision it, how you want to dream it, picture it. Picture it. It works. And then once you start doing that, start exercising thinking. Think about that business. Think about that endeavor. Think about that dream. But do you know how? Don't think about it in your room. Sometimes we are so closed in that even when we are thinking in that closed environment, we can no longer see too far. You can only see within those walls. I will advise you to try it like this. Take time, go to the park. Sit under a shadow somewhere, a shade, a tree, whatever the case may be. And take time to think about that dream. Take time to think about that business idea. Take time to think about those things you want to invite. Allow your mind to invite it. Envision it. Imagine it. When you imagine it in that open space, you will see far. You are going to start noticing that business, you're manifesting it 10 years from now. You start to plan it. So that's the big difference between thinking about that business inside a room and versus outside. Okay? But whatever the case is, this is how I look at it for me. You remember all these missions we did? I have like over 375 missions for me. And over 3 million miles of driving. You know? So, those missions, if you remember those days when we were doing those missions, there was nothing to come between us and that mission until its completion. That was it. The focus was the mission and it must be accomplished. There was no retreat. There was no surrender. There was no giving up. It was let's go, and that was where we are headed. It didn't matter what. So that discipline then got us through war. It got us through those many missions or whatnot. So I want to challenge you to utilize the same kind of discipline to pursue your dreams, to pursue your goals, to pursue your endeavors in life. Whatever it is you want to bring to fruitful, whatever it is you want to achieve, if you make it a mission-based focus and you know for sure this is a mission and this mission must be accomplished, nothing is going to be able to stop you. It doesn't matter what. You only will be able to stop yourself. Nothing else can be able to stop you. You know? But it starts with writing down. You have to write this down. You know, my journey started 10 years ago when I transitioned out of the military. You know, I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't even know if I was ready to come out. You know, it wasn't my own saying that, okay, it's time, let me exit. It was the medical team that found me unfit for service, right? So I was medically retired, but that was that. But after coming out of that, I had to start planning for a future. I started reminding myself of these businesses I talked about while I was deployed with my friends. I talked about the dreams. I talked about even pursuing going back to finish school. You know, all those things. But when I came out, because I wrote them down, I made them a mission-based focus. I made it a mission to accomplish whatever it is I have started. Just as a mission, I focus on it. Nothing comes in between me and that. I won't allow my mind, I won't allow the friends who don't see the good in themselves, therefore they have to downgrade my vision and my dreams or whatnot, or anybody else for that matter, because only I know what it takes or how much work it requires, the dedication, just knowing, the wanting. You know, that good feeling when you want something, you know what that's like. If you remember how we used to compete, you know, in our different platoons, in our different companies or whatnot. You remember when we used to do FPFT, you know, the physical fitness exams, you know, running the 2 miles. We used to compete. We would be like, no, I'm not going to let this person beat me. Last time they beat me by 2 seconds. This time I must beat them. You know, there was that competition of running, trying to beat 11 miles, you know, 10 miles or whatnot. I think the fastest I've done was like 11.2. Yeah, 11.2 2 miles for me. You know, but even that, not sprinting. And in basic training, it was faster. But, you know, that competition, that energy, using each other's energy to pursue, we have that discipline in us. We have that discipline instilled in us veterans. You know, these things work. But we are now in different environments where we have been so distant from each other. You know, we don't communicate as effective or even as frequent, right? We don't push each other as we used to do in uniform or whatnot. But it's just us. We are the same people. You know, it's going to take a veteran to heal another veteran because you understand that veteran really, really well, or what it is they are going through, how far they have come, you know, whatnot. Even in business, it's going to take another veteran to come in and help another veteran say, this is how I started, this is how challenging it was when I did it, but let's make it easier for you. So then it's easier. I mean, why not? I mean, isn't that the whole point of having our little culture right there, that veterans culture, you know, people who have served, who understand the same, we understand that same culture because we have lived it. You know, the difficulty of this as I've gone around looking for jobs over the years or whatnot, you know, is sit there and a hiring manager can never comprehend what it is that is looking in that DD-214 or in your resume, you know, some military language or whatnot. And then you have to explain some stuff. And then sometimes they don't even understand that. Man, I've been turned away to get a job because I have a purple hat, because I wore it. So there was that stigma. Oh, man, are you sure about this? This has happened to me. Real talk. I know this. Okay? So, but all this stuff, those impeding factors. But where are our other veterans within these companies? If you're a veteran that is working at a big company, are you helping the culture within that corporation to learn about veterans and what veterans bring to the table. Okay? And then, are you reaching out to other veterans that are running businesses? Have you Googled to see a business run, that is owned by a veteran within your own community? I mean, what's the difference? How is that working for you? Or is it even working? Is this a conversation you've thought about having? Have you had it? Have you even thought about it? Do not let fear lead. And then do not allow doubtfulness come in between either. You have what it takes as a veteran. Okay? You have it. First of all, you have that mental toughness. No doubt about that. I deployed with many of you. I know. Okay? But it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody is equipped the same way. We're not going to assume that. Right? But we also have so many of us that are going through different challenges without support system. And because there's no support system in business, you see, we always just talk about support system when we talk about healing. Oh, support system because we want to heal, or let's go talk to some people, learn about healing. Let's go talk about our experiences, how we're dealing with PTSD, how I'm having difficulties, sleeping and stuff like that. But where are these workshops where we can talk about businesses? Where's a workshop where I want to go sit in and talk to other veterans about how they started a business and how that business is going well for them? How they can educate me and share experience with me as a veteran about, that whole endeavor. Do we have those workshops? Do we have those platforms where a veteran can come and sit in and say, okay, so this is a kind of business I'm trying to start, but I'm confused about starting it? By the way, if you're a veteran living in the state of Florida and you feel like you want to start a business, let's have a conversation. I'll try to find you guidance. Particularly with the process of starting a business, that whole process of registering with the state or whatnot, all of that, and then you take time to just look, by the way, and then the VA has some resources that are seen on the website in terms of small loans to start a business or grants to start a business and things of that nature. That stuff is out there too, by the way. Take advantage of Google and research it. Don't sit low somewhere knowing that, man, there is this great idea you have and you're just sitting on it. It can work great. And then in the process, why not find another veteran to partnership with and see if this is something you can really push? There are so many different ways of thinking through this or different ways of doing this, But bottom line, I want you to know, the whole emphasis of this today, I want you to know that you are equipped. You have what it takes. You have the discipline instilled in you, okay? If you remember even the days that we were training, going through maybe basic training, the moment we catch time to just sit and chat a little bit as we ate our MREs, we had conversations, we told stories, we talked about businesses. We talked about the things we wanted. We even talked about how far in the military you want to get to, right? But then the moment when you get there, you kind of forget. Why? How is that challenging you? Or where is the challenge in that aspect? Now, by the way, I'm not assuming that everybody has or wants to start a business. But the one thing I know is that everybody has a dream. Everybody wants a good future for them. Everybody wants a good life. That's the foundation. That's the basis. That's the basis of this conversation for me. So not necessarily that you must go start a business. It could be going back to school. If there's any kind of fear that is, keeping you held in captive somewhere, you can do it. The thing about it is this. Don't compete with anyone else but yourself. Do not try to compete with anybody. Do not try to even want to be like somebody. It doesn't matter who. The influence has to be there. The influence is to be used as motivation. The experience is to help channel you as for a better good, right? But not in relations of wanting to be them. Stick to who you are. Compete with yourself. Go at your own pace. Take time and follow through. This is what has worked for me. I write it down. And I continuously look through it. And I keep scanning through it. And I keep imagining it. And I keep believing that it's going to happen. You understand? George, what's good? What's good, kid? You're going to play in college. I know you have the fire. I see you on right now. I see what you're posting. Keep working. You know what it is, George. It's about work. Keep working, okay? You gotta work it. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, that's what it is. Rosa Do, so happy birthday. I see you. Thank you. So yeah, man. So that's what it is, man. How are you challenged with this? How have you sought guidance in that aspect of pursuing a better life for yourself? We don't want to just sit around and just allow the challenges of the hardship of these stigmas that we are dealing with to just constantly keep pressing us down. No. You remember also when we were in active duty as veterans, there was a time when you knew you were sick somehow, but you couldn't go to sick call. You had to work through the day. They said drink water and drive on. Remember those days? Now we are out with all this independence, but we forget to utilize the same discipline for pursuit of what it is that you want to achieve in life. Why is that? Where is the complacency? Where is the discipline? Where is that love for self? Where is that understanding of that understanding that you have what it takes? You know for sure for yourself how hard you can work. We work long hours. I don't even have to explain how long. You already know this. But then when it comes to times of adjustment, whether it's mental adjustment, emotional adjustment, or just adjusting just the environment or whatever the situation may be, you don't want to do it. But remember when we were in the military, this used to happen every 5 minutes. Thing comes down, this is the mission. Oops, 10 minutes later it's changed. Or 45 minutes later it's changed. Halfway during the day it's changed. But guess what? Life went on. We made adjustments as we went. But now during the chaos and the crisis of what's going on, you forget that you have what it takes to make those kind of adjustments. You have what it takes to make adjustments during this coronavirus crisis, to start a business, during this downtime, to even think and know, there's something else I can do. It doesn't. By the way, as a veteran, you know this. You are so equipped. You are too equipped. You remember how you'll be in the motor pool, you'll be in this detail, you'll be in that detail, you'll be in this class, you'll be in that class. All this type of training we're equipped with. Some of which you will never gain in a civilian workplace. By the way, the frequency of training is what I'm talking about. So being equipped in that manner, and then you lose it all in civilian clothes. And then you have to live among everybody else like you don't have what it takes. But you're carrying all that experience and knowledge. It's doable. How is that going for you? What are you working towards that? The self-belief. Believing in yourself, knowing that you are going to overcome whatever it is you're going through. You remember, for those that deployed with me, you remember that first deployment, 16 months, maybe 17 months long. Man, but guess what? We got through it. Some of us we have experiences of IEDs, not twice or 3 times or 4 times. So many different ways. But guess what? That too came to pass. So the point of the matter is this. You are equipped. You have what it takes. Let's use each other to get better. Let's use each other to motivate one another. Let's educate each other for those that are running businesses, for veterans that are running businesses. What have you done to help another veteran who wants to run a business, who wants to start a business? How are you giving back to a community by looking for a veteran who wants to pursue that? Where are we with all of this? What are we doing to help one another? And by the way, this conversation can be related by outsiders too, not just veterans. You could be a veteran family, you could be just somebody else in the world trying to pursue a dream or something. I want you to know equally too. You have so much experience in your life, perhaps even experience of failure, that you should no longer feel that. You should feel motivated to pursue it. You should feel motivation. This is what we call self-development. You constantly have to develop yourself. Don't carry around all these wisdoms and not want to use it. Don't be shy in assuming that somebody else has the same exact knowledge as you do. No, they don't. Man, you'll be surprised. Just open your mouth and then you'll be here, wow. And then somebody's going, but I thought you knew this. No, that's an assumption. Do not assume. You understand? So let's help one another. Let's take time to educate each other, okay? It's doable. I know it's doable. You know, if you're struggling out there, come to Warrior Solutions, you know, a worry-free zone. This is where we have conversations about life, regardless of how challenging those conversations are. And then we also have conversations about growth, like now. This is all nothing but talking about growing up, growing our experience, growing our future, growing our lives to better it. You know, to consistently work on those things that you set forth for yourself. When you think about that business idea, that business goal, stay confident, believe in it. You know, it could be a gift to the universe. You understand? It could be a gift to all of us. So don't hold it down. Write it down and start journeying that process. Start to pursue it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Stick with it. Just keep going. Before you know it, you are going to get surprised. It works. You know, like I said, in the last 10 years, I have pushed myself. I've pushed myself despite the migraine headaches, despite the sleepless night, despite the nightmares, despite the hardship, despite all other injuries that have been tormenting or whatnot. But guess what? One allocation. You have to allocate time for that pursuit. Okay? That's the energy you have. Whether it's just 10 minutes, guess what? 10 minutes is better than not doing it. 10 minutes spending thinking about your dream, your future, whatever it is, makes a big difference. Whether it's an hour, okay? But the point of the matter is, you must find the value in yourself and that dream and a goal and, you know, whatever it is you want to pursue. Find value in it, believe in it. That's your product. Work hard on it. Stay consistent with it. It will work. You have the discipline. You have what it takes. Your mind might tell you otherwise. You know, also pursuing something that is good for you is never a good feeling. Do you understand? It's never a good feeling. You know, there's no like getting excited about it, you know. But you have to do it. You just gotta try. Okay? Don't play victim in complacency. You know, I understand the challenges. I am not saying it's easy. I'm also not saying, oh, you know, veterans have less challenges. They have, you know, I know there are so many different challenges. I know there are people that are even unable to do this. But for those that are able, I encourage you to do it. I really do. I challenge you to do it. A veteran to veteran. This is from a veteran to another veteran. This is what works for me. But because it's working for me, I know out of all my veteran friends circle, one of them can benefit from it. I know that for sure. I know it. I'm not saying all. I'm talking about my circle, the friends that I know. You know what I'm talking about. All right? That's what's up. I wish you all the best. Keep your head up. Mental adjustment, emotional management. Okay? Believe in yourself. Believe in those dreams. You have what it takes. Stay motivated. Personal development. Okay? Stop thinking about the negative all the time. Find motivation in the positive. Read about good things to better yourself. You know, watch stuff to better yourself. Take time to watch YouTube videos, not the funny comic stuff, but stuff to teach you something about business or whatever it is you want to pursue. It's all there. You are going to find it. My love. Respect. Warrior Solution, you know what it is. Love, love, love. Jennifer. Hi, Miss Haiti. Happy Stella. Hi. Carl Dempson. Yo, Carl, what? Yo. Damson Ochaya, respect, love. I'm coming, we're gonna play football. You know what it is. Charlie, greetings. Hi. Love to my veteran friends, okay? Greetings, be safe.